Let's talk some racing for Woodbine Friday, September the 22nd. We'll take a look at that early pick five sequence that has a $50,000 guaranteed pick five pool. For you harness fans, it's a big weekend. I think it's the richest night in racing in Canada, Mohawk Millions on Saturday night. So keep an eye on that if you're a fan of harness racing. I'll have some posts and some information more about that. But for thoroughbred players, let's get into the pick five for Woodbine for Friday. Let's look at the daily racing form past performances. Remember, you can get past performances for free with DRF Bets. If you go sign up for a DRF Bets account, they have a great promotion. They'll offer you a $250 deposit match bonus, $10 free bet, and then they give you 10 sets of free past performances for 10 different cards. So you can take a look at different tracks, and then every time you bet $50, you'll get credit for another daily racing form past performance. So make sure you sign up for DRF Bets, and if you wager through there, you'll get past performances for free. You won't spend money on them anymore. Race number 2 kicks off that early pick 5 sequence. I like the 6 a little bit in here. JMR Speedy Escape. The August 17th race is the one I think we can show. We can kind of talk you through the race. So he's the number 5 in the race that we're going to watch. This is back on August 17th. This is 5 furlongs on the turf. Same conditions as this race. Same distance on the turf. This was against maidens. And he had a fine start. He was right with an early group, but you could see there were like 3 or 4 other horses that wanted the lead, so he took back a little bit. All of a sudden, he's down on the inside in 4th, about 2 lengths off. Traveling pretty well, though, but he just kept getting kind of pushed into a bad spot. He was down here inside. He wasn't ever able to get out, and he got pushed farther inside by a rival that was moving really well. I don't know if he was going to win this race. He probably wasn't, but he would have finished better than 7th, beaten 3.5. Like if he finishes 3rd in this race or 4th, I think the price on him is much different. But he's shifting down to the rail and he's moving pretty well. But the horse, Old Blue Cliff, kind of moves to his inside and shuffles him down. I think he probably ends up finishing, maybe 3rd in that race. And, Old Blue Cliff, who goes on to win impressively after hitting that spot. So let's give the 6 a big look. What's also positive about him is now he's gone longer in his last 2. He's drawn towards the outside with his speed. I think he can sit off a little bit. It looked in that race like he would have no problem sitting behind horses and closing, and we know he can get towards the lead. He just broke his maiden in doing so. The 3 Silent Risk, he's a major player. His last start, they all lined up on the lead, so he had to take back. He was wide chasing. And then on the turf, 2 starts back on August the 6th. That was his first start of the year. He sat second. He moved to the lead, and he tired. Totally made sense for the first start of the year. 6-3, the 1 would be the next horse, BB the King, with that inside speed. But I do think there's a lot of speed in here. I'm okay if we want to take maybe a little swing against the 2 Midnight Moonshine. 6-3 all over, maybe the 1 if you want to go a little deeper. That's race 2 on Friday at Woodbine. The 3rd race I thought was very contentious, really challenging. It's a small field, but you can honestly make a case for most in here. Crafty Oaks, a filly facing the boys, but she's dropping out of a couple stakes races where she faced some tough company. Erosa, Ready to Jam, Dancing Duchess, Stormcast came back to win out of that race, and we saw a lot of these horses in Grade 1 company couple weekends back at Woodbine. The 4 Natural Star has positional speed, and then he can finish. Major positive here for him. The 5-2 Ghosts was an impressive winner, breaking the maiden, and he's shown a little progression in each. He lost to My Boy Prince in his debut, who was very impressive winning and coming back and winning again. Classy Image might be the fastest in here. So not an easy race, even though they're just 6. And I actually think you need to use the 6 because of that, because there are versions of this race where this horse can just run away and hide, clear the field from the outside. 6 in the pick 5 for me, for sure. I think the 1, to me, she's the most proven. I like her getting back to the synthetic. Tried the turf last time out, just didn't fire in a tough spot. And now she'll run better here. The 5 and 4 also horses I can't leave out. The 5, I guess, based on price, you can, right? If you're going to spread out a little bit in this race and you're okay and you like others, then maybe you do just kind of chuck 2 ghosts who fits. But again, if it's all about price and building your tickets, I think if you love her or love him, you single him here. I like him with a couple others, but he doesn't stand out to me in this race. So lots of 6 and 1. Maybe we can see if we can get out with those 2. 4 and 5 both fit. Again, we're looking, and the 3 is a debut winner. It's not like this horse has done anything wrong. And Pontiac tried Stakes Company last time out. Very, very difficult race, I thought, here. 6 and 1. Let's see if we can go inside outside. 4th race, 5 furlongs on the turf, non-winners of 2. Think they could be moving in here. So to me, the horse that gets the best trip is the 6 Telltale. She can sit off the pace a little bit, and even cutting back, I think she'll be okay here. She's shown a little bit more tactical speed in a couple of her last races, and the 5.5 race, she wasn't too far out of it. They just might be going a little faster than what she's been dealing with in her last races, a little faster early. That may make her a little farther back. The 4 Summer Snow is kind of interesting to me, also cutting back. I think that'll give her a little more punch. 6 and 4 all over the place. I even thought the 8 as a big long shot was kind of interesting. Bittersweet Business. So last 2 have been going a little longer on the grass. But if you go back and look at the 5 races in September of last year, they were not bad. This horse broke the maiden there going 5. Even prior to that, sort of involved early on before fading into a tougher spot before the drop. So I might throw the 8 in as a long shot in some spots, along with the 6 and the 4 here. I'm okay playing against Rookie Court because I'm a little concerned about the trip that he may get from the inside, that she may get from the inside. It might be tough for her with a lot of speed to the outside. 5th race, the 8 Harper City gets back to the synthetic and cuts back in distance. So I'm expecting a good effort from him, just not much in this race. When you have a horse like Mentoring, who's been your beaten favorite repeatedly, he's been the beaten favorite in 5 consecutive races. Now he adds the blinkers. One of the faster horses in this race early. He fits in all the races that he's in. He just doesn't win. The 5 is Preetza Star. His running style should fit pretty well in here. There's just not a lot of speed in these types of races. You usually want horses who have shown a little bit. He's also shown that he can finish. I think he'll be aggressively handled here. 8. And whatever you want to do with the 3, Mentoring. The 5 is probably a player in here. The 4 is sort of a wild card with a little bit of speed. And the blinks on, getting some class relief. Closing out the Woodbine, pick 5 is in race number 6. I'm going to look at the number 6 in here as Malibu Uproar is certainly capable of winning this type of a race. 2 starts back, that race would be good enough. Last time out, it really wasn't a bad effort. Desolator just made this really kind of big out of nowhere move. Desolator hadn't won a race in a couple years and then shows up with this monster performance and a speed figure that jumped off the page. You sort of wonder where that came from Desolator, who's 8-1 in here. You could see he hadn't done anything like that in a while. He's absolutely flying. Lion Kingdom is one of the safer plays in here, I think. I feel pretty good about what we're going to get from him. He's honest. He's going to finish well, and I think he's a really good fit at the level. Drops in class off of a good closing effort last time out. So I'll use the 6, the 8, and then the 10, Solar, should be pretty close throughout, especially from that outside draw. I think they'll make sure to try to keep him close. Wasn't sure what to do with the 2 anymore because I think he's lost a step. He might just be good enough still to beat this field. Lopachka, the 10-year-old. 17-time winner, and he's beaten some of these common rivals recently, but I do think he's a little beyond some of his better. There's a look at the Friday pick 5 at Woodbine, Friday, September the 22nd. Best of luck. $50,000 early pick 5 pool to dive on into. And remember, with daily racing form and DRF bets, you can get past performances for free and that deposit match bonus.